Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Dinda Hiramisa Gusnandar. I'm from class A and my student number is 2321222120. So I will do the mid semester exam assignment and I'm going to explain about phonetic and phonology. When we communicate with someone having the same language background, we do not realize that we are following a certain set of rules which governs the use of the language we are using. The sound by which we communicate are not suddenly produced and arranged. They are produced in accordance with certain rules that native speakers follows, even if they are not aware of what they do. The English sounds as entering, for instance, is produced by having the tip of the tongue between the upper and lower teeth and then withdrawing it. The sound p or p in words such as pets is pronounced differently from the p of split in that the p for pet is accompanied by a strong air stream known as aspiration while p for split. The sounds are not randomly arranged either. The arrangement of which sound comes first is also governed by a rule. Okay, the first is phonetic. What is phonetic? Phonetic is the study of actual sound that make up the word of a language. Every language has its own characteristic, and there are sounds in English which we might not use in our language, and sounds in our language that we might not use in English. And one of the more difficult things about English is the spelling and pronunciation. Phonetic is a science that deals with the sound of human language. It's normally divided into the sub-branches, namely acoustic phonetics, auditory phonetics, and articulatory phonetics. Acoustic phonetics deal with the study of the physical properties of sound in the form of sound waves that result from the production of the sound. As one speaks, the sound that he produced creates air waves that travel from the speaker's mouth to the hearer's ear. This is what makes the listener hear what the speaker says. In acoustic, phonetic people measure the fluctuation of the pitch by looking at the frequency of the vocal fold movement, also measure the duration of the sound being produced. Auditory phonetics deals with how sounds are perceived by our brains. It's just as just stated, when we are speak, the sound that he produces when one speaks, the sound that he produces creates sound waves. The sound waves strike the ears of the listener. He will then send what he hears to the brain for analysis to determine, for instance, whether the sound is P or B or P or B. If the word he hears is say beat, the next step for the listener is to do the same analytical process for the following sounds. That articulator phonetics also deals with the sound of language, but it focuses on how the sounds are produced. The focus on sound production necessarily mean that his brain of phonetics must handle the speech mechanism that is involved in sound production. In articulatory phonetics, we will discuss things such as the role and function of our lungs, the passage through with the sound flow, the parts of the mouth that play a role in the formation of sound, and the ways the sound are released. This is the kind of phonetic which we will emphasize in this book, Phonetic and Phonology. The second is phonology. Phonology is different from phonetic in that the focus of the study is different. If in phonetic we deal with the formation, production, and perception of sound, in phonology we talk about how the sounds are relevant and arranged when used in actual speech. As an example, the vowels a, E is in Gun is phonetical speaking and oral sound from the point of view of phonology. However, the sound is a nasalized, that is, it speaks up the nasal future when it is followed by a nasal such as N. In other words, in the sound system of English, the vowel becomes nasalism. Phonology will also discuss the arrangement of sounds from a syllable or a word. In English, for instance, we have the sound L and P. According to the rule of English sound arrangement, known as the phonotactics, this sound can occur together at the end of a word in the order of LP. Thus, English law forms such as help and school and English phonotactics also allow SPR according to the beginning of a word, as in spray and sprite. Meanwhile, the sound L as in sing and king never occurs at the beginning of a syllable. There is no English word like ngis or ngik. If we compare English and Indonesia, we will find that Indonesia also has the sound F and LF and LP. But if we look at the phonetic rules of Indonesia, we will see that L and P never occur together in a syllable or word. Since LP is not found in Indonesia, the English word help is often pronounced as HLP. The same is true with the word film, which is pronounced as LFM over LPM. Phonology also handles how words are phonologically formed. The structure of a syllable, for instance, is based on a set of rules of the language in English, and a syllable or a word may begin with two or three consonants. If a syllable of or word begins with two consonants, the first consonant can be any sound except H, L, L, V, Z, L, L, N, L, etc. or Y, Y. So there are no English words such as harimau, lad, and I. Imlakul if it has three consonants. The first can only be is tor could have garos, splee, and zero. This is the underlying file that explains why native English speakers would reject words such as the three above intuitively. On the other hand, the many or extreme word big sound very much English. No speaker would say that it sound and look English. He just does not know what it means. From the description above, we can see that phonology does not deal with how sounds are formed, produced, or perceived, but how they are arranged in relation to other sounds. In other words, phonology studies the sound system of language. The next is sound and letters. People quite often confuse sound with letters. Sound are not letters. A sound, however, may be represented graphically by letters, but a sound is not synonymous with a letter. This sound is different from non-human sound or from the sound that an animal produces. The human sound or combination of sound brings about meanings. The combination of the sounds B and K, for instance, brings about the meaning of an object that's read or write a book. This word is contrast with the word big pronounced as Becky. It is clear, therefore, that we should not confuse sounds with letters, or more technically letters. Phonemics with graph hermes. English is notorious now as the world's spelled language. Anyone learning English must pay special attention to this. The next is phonetics, phonology, and phonemics. We have made a discussion between phonetics and phonology in the previous section. One technical term determining which in the pre and state of sound is phonemics. In phonemics, we selected to is in order to determine whether certain sound should surround certain other sound which bring about them in continuous or not. Thus, in English, the sound LP and B AB EB arrangement are phonemically in contrast, as the word having for ancient sound have different meanings. Abstractly, we can say that phonemes are the smallest distinctive units of sound in language. In a language, English, we have the phonemes. Parent of one or and the same phoneme when the phonemes, for instance, 15 aspirated at a certain position and unaspirated at another. We say that the parents are allophones of the same phoneme, namely the phoneme. I think that's all for me. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.